When we're back, we're doing another reaction video. Woo! I've got my glasses on today because these reactions are all going to be on Reddit, where I'm going to be having to read a lot of words. Thank you, Evie. It's great to learn how to voice act a little bit. So once again, if you like today's content, be sure to thank Evie in the comments, my editor, and let's get into it. Today's reaction is gonna be all on the am I the asshole subreddit. Am I the asshole? I try not to be the asshole most of the time. So our first one is, am I the asshole for jumping out of the way when my niece and nephew tried to push me into the pool, resulting in them falling in? I don't even need to read the rest of this, because no, you're not the asshole. Why the fuck are people trying to push other people in the goddamn pool when we have electronics, people? What happened? So happened today, my folks decided to host a barbecue because I guess that's what older people do. I declined because I really don't like my two sisters. Their husband and their kids, wife and I are child free. Mom then pressured the wife. Long story short, we went. By the time we arrived there, about 20 people there. My sister and the husband were already solidly buzzed. Drunk, really. My mom was spending 100 of their time trying to keep the nieces and nephews ages 7 to 11 more or less under control. My dad had strategically retreated to the whirlpool part of the pool with small cooler full of beers. That sounds like me, obvious. Let me get away from all these children and just straight towards the pool. Wife and I made small talk with miscellaneous people, ate food, had a dozen margaritas. Sisters, BILs, what? Brother-in-laws? Sisters and brother-in-laws took turns criticizing us for being late, not being in our swimsuits, and screwing up the vibe. Whatever, typical suburban summer to get together. About 4 to 5 minutes, and two of the kids ran into one of the neighbors' guest houses, were standing next to the pool and pushed her in. She was at the pool steps, stumbled in, but didn't fall, so only got a half wet. She was clearly unhappy about it, but she did not make a scene. Just went over to where the parents were, grabbed the towels, and dried herself off, and left. Sisters and brother-in-laws thought it was great fun. Really? I mean, okay, all right. Was she going already into the pool? She was standing next to the pool and pushed her in. Okay, so she didn't get fully wet. A bit later, I was standing a few feet away from the pool, chatting away from somebody. I saw 3 of the kids running full tilt at me from the corner of my eye. Obviously, I was next. Not that it's terribly difficult to outwit young kids, but I just jumped out of the way at the last second. All 3 of them ran straight into the pool at full speed. How deep is this pool, first of all? Because depending on how deep the pool is, that's dangerous. Most of the other guests, including my wife and I, started laughing, but their moms, who I mentioned were who were pretty shit-faced, absolutely freaked out. Apparently 2 of the kids couldn't swim, even though they were in swimsuits. Since I wasn't in swim gear, I stepped back from the— wait, hold on, what? You're pushing people into the pool? Wait, no. And you can't even swim? What? Since I wasn't in swim gear, I stepped back to the pool and let other people fish the kids out. The kids were bawling their heads off like they lost a limb. You're pushing people into the pool and now you want to feel sorry for yourself because you fell in? Nah. At that point, all hell broke loose. The 4 drunk parents were yelling at everyone in general, and me in particular, for nearly letting their kids drown. That's not your fault. And also because 2 of the kids have been videoing the trick using their parents' iPhone, which are now at the bottom of the pool. Good for them. One of the brother-in-laws got into the pool, tried to retrieve the phones, but his brother-in-law and BAC made that impossible. No one else volunteered to help. Unsurprising, given that my sister was still bitching at everyone. I told my sisters it was their job to watch their kids, and that anything had happened to them, it would have been their responsibility, not mine. There were some pretty strong words on both sides. Wife and I left after the other brother-in-law fell over and face planted while yelling at us. Now they're saying I should let the little shits knock me into the pool and have their fun and ruin my phone. So am I? You're absolutely not the asshole. Oh my god. Side note, Dad of course never got out the whirlpool. Oh god, Dad was like, I'm not here for this, bro. Let y'all deal with y'all selves. I'll just be over here chilling. I'm just gonna be chilling. Oh my god. Am I the asshole for deleting my cousin's wedding pictures that I wasn't paid for, that I didn't pay for, I think you mean?
Nah, that's not right.
My younger cousin's wedding was last December, and she asked me to be the photographer for the wedding. I'm semi-professional photographer. Wait, hold on. She told me what type of photo she wanted, and I gave her a quote of just under 1K. Of just under 1,000. Weddings happen, I take the pictures, I edit them. Then wait for the payments, which we agreed I get in full after the wedding before sending any pictures. However, suddenly, she didn't have money and wanted to set up a payment plan to pay it off. In 8 months and still get the pictures now. It's not that I don't trust her, but once we start opening such doors, you'll find it hard to close them. So I told her we could do the payment plan, but the photos will only be released when the full amount is paid. Didn't even add interest. She didn't respond.
I don't like where this is going.
February rolls in and she asks to at least see samples to confirm that they were worth the price. I sent 4 pictures and she says she'll show them to her husband and get back to me. Cue silence for a week or 2 until I asked for an update, and she responded saying it's still discussing it with him. I told her this was getting long and she must start paying now, and she ignored me again. So I'd saved the photos on my roommate's flash drive temporarily while I was waiting on an actual hard drive. June came around and then texted me while I was at work saying he needed to use it, and took it from my room, but I saw that there were still files in it. He couldn't move it to his laptop because it didn't have any space, thus him needing the flash. So he was asking if he could delete the files. I said fine and deleted them. I still had about 20 of the photos saved on the phone from when I was choosing sending the samples, so I just explained the situation in a message to her and sent the existing photos free of charge. So I had about 20 of the photos? Wait, that was last month, and I'm still getting flamed for this. She's been slandering me online and has quite literally created a division between our families to the point that our mom don't talk now. I obviously feel bad, but also feel like, given the circumstances, I wasn't really wrong, though, still acknowledging that it's obviously very shitty for her and that I would have wished to avoid. What do you guys think? First of all, I don't think you're an asshole for not sending the photos over to her, but that wasn't your fault that they were deleted. I also don't think, why are you, if you know the photos are going to be on the flash drive, why not just tell your roommate first that you would like to get the photos off first, because those are your cousin's wedding photos that she's going to pay for, even though she hasn't paid for them yet, obviously. I still, you're not the asshole, but like, you still kind of are, because you should have kept everything in a nice, secure location. I'm one who saves everything. All of the photos I've had up until this point, I have them stored away, either on like a Google Drive folder, Facebook somehow has them, or Dropbox somehow has them. I try not to lose any files unless I'm specifically deleting them. So if you have a flash drive and you're giving them to a friend and you tell them that it's okay to delete it, then you might be the asshole here. I'm very sorry. Do I think that your cousin should be flaming you? I mean, you already kind of felt bad because you gave her 20 of the photos for free. So I think you already know you kind of are, and you probably should say sorry. And I'm sorry if you're a cousin, because she probably was gonna pay the $1,000. Though I think if you have the money to do a wedding, obviously I don't know what type of wedding you're doing, but if you're doing weddings and you're gonna hire a photographer, even if it's your friend, pay your goddamn photographer. Just pay your photographer. God damn it. Is that so hard? And you waited over a year, because it was what? When she didn't respond, February rolls around. Wait, when did they even start doing this? December, February. And then what? 2 more months after, 6 months in, and you still haven't gotten your wedding photos? And you still haven't paid the $1,000? Alright, your cousin's kind of an asshole. You're slightly an asshole for not just like saving the files, and your roommate's kind of an, well, your roommate has nothing to do with this. He obviously doesn't know what the fuck is going on. All right, next up, am I the asshole for having my daughter do guy chores and telling my wife to stop? Guy chores? What? Wait, hold on. What is a guy chore? What? What is a guy chore? Hold on. Hold on. You sound like an asshole for just even attempting the fact of saying guy chore. I am married to my wife and have 4 stepkids. We've been together so long that I consider them mine, and really, I am only father figure they know. Bio dad is not involved at all. They call me dad. Okay. Now the oldest is 15 and the youngest is 8. The 2 oldest are guys and taught both of them stereotypical guy chores, fixing cars, cutting grass, starting both of them when they were about 10. My brother Annie just turned 11. When she did not turn 10, I did start teaching her more hands-off stuff. When she was small, she was bigger now and stronger, so we had our first lessons on cutting the grass and how a lawnmower works. She did really well. Little wonder she would lose control of the mower since she was short, but her fears were unfounded. She did the whole yard and I'm quite proud of her. My wife had a fit though. She got into an argument about teaching her guy chores that she is too young. The other 2 kids started before my age. I told her that she needs to stop babying her and she needs to know how shit works. She called me a jerk and laughed. Alright. You're not an asshole? I was gonna say you were an asshole. No, you're not an asshole. There's no such thing as a guy chore. Mowing the lawn, even being a mechanic. You know what the most sexiest woman is? A woman who is not afraid of getting dirty and just is okay with doing the difficult things and not worrying about her nicely manicured nails and no, because there's no such thing as a guy's chore and a girl's chore. It's just a chore that has to get done because if you don't do it, somebody's gonna do it. So why not you? Comments, please. Not out the asshole. Out of the blue, you should bake a cake with your daughter just to confuse your wife. but include the boys as well. Yes, include everyone. Am I the asshole for bringing meat to my sister's vegan wedding? Based off the title, I want to say no, but I feel like that's a toss-up because if you're like, I want to say, but then again, like depending on how bad of a vegan your sister is, you shouldn't do anything to hurt the wedding or anything. But then again, it is also a wedding, so why are you bringing your own food? If you're not gonna eat, just drink all the beer, unless they don't have beer. So we'll see. My sister's a hardcore vegan. She's against all animal cruelty and suffering. It is one of the main things I admire her for. I have 2 kids, Casey and Chase, 7 and 5. My sister's wedding allows kids. I was very grateful for this as it's seen as the overbearing mom. I don't like having babysitters since they're just randos who could do God knows what to my kid, but it's also made clear that it was a vegan wedding. Chase has been going through a phase where he picks one food and sticks with it for months. Okay, so if it's for children, I definitely don't think it's not an asshole because it's a child. My daughter is the type of person who doesn't eat certain food. My daughter doesn't eat sauce. She doesn't like sauce, and you gotta separate the food for her because else she doesn't. We'll get into that later. Chase has been going through a phase. I tried to offer him other foods he likes during these times, but he just wants his chosen item. If he does not get it, he ends up throwing a huge tantrum. I don't support his behavior and try to steer him away from it, but sometimes it gets tricky. His chosen food this time was sausage rolls. Knowing this, I knew that if he got into a fuss at the wedding, he would cause a disturbance. Cassie also tends to want things that her brother has, but usually gets sick of them between 2 to 3 weeks. I packed a lot of them since if her brother had eaten them all, Cassie would have started an uproar. Everything was fine until I got asked by my son if there was any sausage rolls. I had given him some and asked Casey if she wanted any, but she declined, and as he got tired of them fairly early. I had a lot left over since I combined them. They ate a truckload. One of the gifts, sister's friend Matt, must have seen this since he came over and asked me for one. I didn't think much of it and handed him one. I'm not sure if this is important or not, but many of my sisters are vegan or even vegetarian. A few minutes after Matt had come over, 2 more people did. I declined this time because I felt rude, but the friends left with an annoying expression. My daughter had come back to me after playing with the other kids and changed her mind and wanted some. I let her grab some and she ran again. My sister then came up to me and was glowing red. She started going off on me about it was her wedding and how I couldn't just hand out non-vegan food to others since it was disrespectful. I tried to explain to her that it was just my kids, but she had told me that no one else kids are acting like this and they're all fine with the food. Maybe if you weren't parenting Chase, wouldn't be in the face to begin. Oh. No. That would set me off. Oh no. I got up and left with my kids, arguing while walking out. My sister was blocking me on everything, and her parents and friends were calling me and asked for walking out on the wedding over something so small, and that I should apologize. Absolute no. I don't care. It's not even for you. It wasn't even for you. Oh my god. And they're 5 and 6. They're toddlers. You know what? Who even has okay, you know what? I don't want to tick off anybody who's vegan, but if you're going to have a vegan wedding, be sure to have 2 options: vegan and non-vegan food. Because there are going to be people who do not eat vegan food, and there are going to be people who don't eat regular food. So you appease to everyone, please. Why are we just doing it for one person? Yes, I understand that vegan might be a little bit better for the environment, and it doesn't matter. You're inviting children to this wedding. Children are not vegan unless they specifically state that they are. No, you're not an asshole, and I'm sorry that your sister said this. I was gonna agree with it at the very beginning, but then I found out that it wasn't even for her. It was for her children.